Hello everyone, welcome back to this project that we've started, a little space shooter kind of thing. Now I've loaded the file that we drew up last week, and I'm going to bring up the grid, which I've got on here at 32 pixels high and wide, and I'm going to move everything to the center. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now, and you'll see why later. And then we're going to start exporting everything that's here. First thing I want to do is make sure that the background is transparent. Otherwise, when you load the sprites up, you're going to have the whole square, and you can't just have the sprite. So I'm going to take the background off, and let's... I'm just going to cut the canvas size down to that 32 pixels. And then I'm going to upsize the whole image, everything here, to 96. And don't forget to click nearest neighbor here so it preserves the hard edges. Okay, so now the sprites aren't going to be too small to see in the project. You can change the sizes bigger in the project itself, but I think it's a lot cleaner to do it this way. So let's start saving these out as PNGs. And I'm just going to name this one player. And I'm going to go ahead and export the rest of them as well. So I'm done exporting all of the images, so I'm just going to close this down. I've already saved the file. I've saved it separately, keep the original file, but you don't have to do that anyway. So anyway, we're going to use Construct 2 as the program we're going to build the game in. Now this is a game engine, and it means that if you don't know any coding, this can be really handy if you want to make games. So yeah, if you want to create something commercial or something you're going to sell, then you will have to buy a license, but you don't need a license to just start building games anyhow. So we're going to start a new project, and the first thing I want to do is just click around here, and it's going to bring out the layout properties. So I'm going to change the size of the layout properties to 4. What have we got here? 854 by 480, and that will make a nice little space to work in. And first thing I want to do is bring in one of our sprites that we've just drawn earlier. So let's bring in our player sprite, and we'll just crop the transparent area around it. And something I do want to do though is I'm just going to zoom in here, and I want to add another image point, which you press this here, it'll add another image point, and I'm just going to put it there. Now that image point is going to be where the bullet spawns, so we'll get back to that later. So that's done. Now we're going to give it some properties, or some behaviors. Now these are pre-made behaviors, so you don't have to do any coding. One of them that I'm going to give is 8 direction, and another one is bound to layout, so it doesn't go off the screen. I find you can write your own code to stop it from going off the screen, and it looks a bit better, and it won't stop, say here, and you can go off the screen a little bit. That usually looks a bit better, but just for the purpose of this little game, I'm just going to use the one in this Construct 2. Now if we play this now, that's horrible. Okay, so it's got the 8 direction movement, but we've got to change this here so it doesn't turn around the sprite. So if we run this now, it should move the sprite without turning it around. So there we go, we've got a moving sprite. Okay, so next thing we want to do is bring in a new sprite. So I'm just going to bring a new sprite in, and up here again, load an image, and we're going to use the player bullet. Again, I'm just going to crop it. We don't need to add any image points to this one, so we'll just close that down. I'm going to take it off the screen, because after I give it the bullet behavior, which is another one of the pre-made behaviors here, it will actually fly in that direction. So I'm going to keep it off the screen. Now another behavior I'm going to give it is destroy outside layout, because when you shoot it, it's going to go off the layout, and all of these bullets are going to keep flying off into no space and keep being calculated by the computer if you don't destroy it outside the layout. So destroy outside the layout is kind of important. Okay. Next, we want to bring in our keyboard. So let's insert another object, and down the bottom here is keyboard. So now we can add some keyboard events. So let's add an event. Keyboard, key is down. We're going to choose the spacebar. Okay, so when the key spacebar is down, add an action. Sprite, which is the first player, is going to spawn another object, and that object is going to be sprite 2, which is the bullet. On layer 2, add image point 1. And I say image point 1, remember we created the extra image point where the bullet was going to come off. Well, that's what that image point 1 is. So press done. Alright, so if we try this now, okay, we've got our player moving around just fine, and it's making a hell of a lot of bullets at once, because as soon as we press it, it's saying, yep, just keep making them as soon as it's down. So we're going to change that. Let's go back to our event sheet. We're going to right click on the keyboard and add another condition. So this is another condition it's going to have to meet to do this action. And we're going to go system, every X seconds, and change that to, let's say 0.4. Okay, now let's try this again. Alright, so player's still moving just fine, and there we had it. So holding down the spacebar, and it's just shooting one every 0.4 seconds, which is practically just under every half second. Alright, so we've got the player moving, we've got the bullets all added, and the bullet is coming from the player when you press the spacebar. And I think for now, that will be the end of this video. Next video, we'll add the enemy sprite and make that start shooting some bullets as well. So, till next video, bye for now.